On a scale from 1 to 5, 6.
What's up? What it is? What it do? It's your boy Alan C back in the place to be. Man, it's been a minute. It's been a long time in here. No rhyme or reason. Just been MIA. That's my bad. But I'm back and bringing y'all a brand new episode of Al You Bugging. As you can see at the bottom of the ticker, follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Al_U_bugging. Shout out to my Sideline Talk family, Tay, Herb, John. What up, y'all? Getting right back into it. Last night was a football game, and they call it the Ben Gay Bowl. 240-year-old quarterbacks put on a show last evening. I don't know if y'all watched. I don't know if y'all had time to tune in, but Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals took on Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know why I forgot the team. Two AFC North, actually number 1 and number 2 in AFC North. And they put on the show. But Flacco came through in good old Baltimore Raven Flacco form and beat the Steelers 33-31 for a field goal, walk-off field goal. Shout out to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had a big game, 16 catches. If you in PPR league and you going up against Jamar Chase, I feel sorry for you because he started the week off hot. 16 catches, which is a franchise record for catches in a game. Technically 4, 5 or 6 off from the NFL record currently held by Brandon Marshall at 22. So, yeah, he had a game. He said that they had a game plan and knew what Pittsburgh was going to do against them defensively, and they did it, and Joe and Chase executed the game plan. That's not to say that T. Higgins didn't have a good game as well. T. Higgins definitely added on, did his part. But again, man, shout out to Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals taking care of business against the AFC North leading Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're going to get into some games that we got coming up this week. I want to start at college football. So Penn State fired their head football coach. I believe it was last week. James Franklin is no longer the coach of Penn State. I thought Penn State was going to be one of the top teams this season. I guess they had other plans. So going into week 8 of the college football season, tonight Miami is playing against Louisville. That game is coming on in a minute. And then Nebraska is taking on Minnesota. So top 25 teams against each other. We have number 5 Ole Miss versus number 9 Georgia at 3:30 tomorrow. Then we got Alabama versus Tennessee tomorrow at 7:30. So 2 SEC teams. Actually, I'm sorry, 3 SEC teams. LSU and Vanderbilt kicks off the day at 12. Notre Dame versus USC. Rivalry game. That game starts at 7:30. That's going to be on NBC. That's the primetime game. You got BYU, number 15, versus number 23, Utah. That's going to be a good game as well. That's on at 8. So that's all the top 25 teams that's playing against each other. Current top 10 in the college football rankings. Number 1, Ohio State. They've been the best team in football this year. I don't see why that doesn't continue. Miami's right there. They're number 2. Indiana is number 3. Texas A&M is number 4. Ole Miss is number 5. All 5 of those teams are undefeated thus far. Alabama's 5-1. They're number 6. Texas Tech is 6-0. They're number 7. Oregon is 8. Georgia is 9. LSU is 10. All 3 of those teams have 1 loss currently on the season. So I have been kind of prematurely scouting for the upcoming NFL draft. The draft is going to take place in Pittsburgh. I will be in the building come hell or high water. I will be in Indianapolis for the combine come hell or high water. I want to cover that as well. So look on my IG. Again, as you see it in the ticker, I'm going to leave that up all night. Follow Al You Buggin' on Instagram and on YouTube at Al You Buggin'. Available wherever you get your podcast from. So that includes Apple, that includes Deezer, that includes Spotify. We on it. But yeah, like I was saying before I got lost, I've been watching some wide receiver tape. I've been watching some defensive end tape. Obviously, for my Ravens and what we need, I've been looking at offensive line. I've been looking interior defensive line. Shout out to Matty BK. Hopefully, his career will continue. But at this point, from all the words that we're getting from John, and Matty BK has yet to say whether he will or he won't, I'm just going to proceed forward like he won't. I'll be returning. So I've been looking at that as well. Trying to find who I've been looking for on my phone. So it's been a shake-up for the top 10 players on the big board. Let's just say it's just consensus big board. So basically, all across the internet, you got Walter Camp, you got PFF, you got DraftKings. Shout out to all of them. Top 10 players right now are Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback out of Indiana. Ruben Bain, I've been watching tape on him. He's the edge that's in Miami. Like I said, they play at 7. Dante Moore, Heisman Trophy runner. What are they called? Not runner up. Finalist. Dante Moore, QB out of Oregon. I see him. He's shot up the draft board so far. Lenore Sellers, QB out of South Carolina. He's number 4 on the board. Caleb Downs, the safety out of Ohio State, is playing some great football. Peter Woods, I've definitely been watching tape on him. He's interior lineman out of Clemson, or he will play the edge. He's pretty much a down lineman out of Clemson. I've been watching some tape on him. Peter Woods is really good, stopping the run and attacking the quarterback. Jordan Tyson is out of Arizona State. I have not watched tape on him yet. Wide receiver out of Arizona State, Jordan Tyson. I'll go ahead and watch some tape with him this weekend. Find out where Arizona State is going to play. Utah's offensive tackle, Spencer Fino. I have not looked at him yet. Francis, I'm about to butcher this last name, but Francis is the offensive tackle for Miami. Like I said, they're about to play at 7 Eastern. And then Keldrick Falk is an edge rusher out of Auburn. He's number 10 of on the consensus big board of the top 10 of her ranking players. TJ Parker on the other edge of he's an edge rusher in Clemson. I watched some of his tape as well. Caden Proctor, of course. offensive tackle at Alabama. Basically, what I'm saying is it's almost that time, ladies and gentlemen, to get ready for the draft. Most teams in the NFL know what they're doing. At this point, if they're about to make a late season surge, or if they are going to start, vying for playoff seeding, or if they're getting ready for the draft. So most teams know what they are going to be because the trade deadline is coming up. And with the trade deadline, some teams going to be sellers, some teams going to be buyers. Um, when it comes down to the trade deadline, and most teams that are going to be sellers is going to be looking forward to drafting one of these players that I just got finished mentioning. We're going to do a more elaborate, in-depth look at these prospects coming up, probably more so in November, December. Once we got more tape on these guys and more game footage under their belt for that senior season. But yeah, these guys about to be the next stars in the NFL. Let's go ahead and get to these picks for this week. We have a London game coming up. That's going to be the first game and first game of the weekend. We got the Rams playing Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going with the Rams on this one. They will be without Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua has been ruled out for this game, but I'm still going to go with the Rams. I like Jacksonville. I like what they've done defensively, but I don't know. And Jacksonville, actually, you know what? I could go Jacksonville here because Jacksonville second home is London. They play over there every single year. That might be more of the move that I'm going to go to. And then Sunday 1:00 window, you have Chicago versus New Orleans Saints. I'm going with Chicago, but I'm gonna put them on upside alert. New Orleans have been scrappy. Just haven't closed the deal. So if Caleb Williams get tight or start making mistakes in this game, New Orleans could definitely win it. But I'm gonna go with Chicago for right now. Miami Dolphins versus Cleveland Browns. I'm going with Miami on that one. Barely. Actually, no, I'm going with Cleveland on that one. There's going to be a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and I trust Cleveland's run game more than I trust Miami's. So they get ahead, and Tua got to throw in that 40 mile per hour wind, and it's going to be pretty. So I'm going to go with Cleveland on that one. New England versus Tennessee. I'm going with New England. There's not much more to say. That's a Vrabel get back game, if you will. He was fired by Tennessee a couple years ago. Move off my face. Fired by Tennessee a couple years ago. And then now the head coach of New England. New England has been looking really good this year. Tennessee has been struggling. Tennessee's already fired his successor. So nothing else to be said on that one. Kansas City versus Raiders. Again, not much to be said. I think Kansas City is back. If you look at how they played the last 2 weeks, I think Kansas City is back to being the team to beat in the AFC. And this is just going to solidify, get them over 500 for the week or for the season this week when they beat the Raiders. Eagles versus Vikings. The Eagles are on a 2-game losing streak, but I think that ends against Minnesota. I'm going to pick Philly on this one. Carolina versus New York Jets. This one is on the road for Bryce Young. Bryce Young on the road has not played well thus far in his career. This game is a game the Jets have to have. They have to win this game. There's no other way around it, no other way to slice it. If they don't win this game, I might start placing bets that the Jets won't win a game this year. That's how goddamn serious this game is for the Jets. If they don't win this game at home after how they played in London, yeah, just go ahead and put 0-7. First team to go 0-17. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the board. Start taking bets on that one. And then when we get to the 4 o'clock window, you got the Giants taking on the Broncos. For some reason, the Broncos have been real chatty. They didn't look good enough to be chatty how they played in London, but they've been chatty this week against New York. I guess trying to get the name, trying to, capitalize off the fame the two crash out rookies are having, with Cam Scatterbull and Jackson Dart. Both of them guys are just crash outs. So I guess they try to capitalize off of that fame. But I'm going with the Broncos. I don't think the Giants have the weapons to go against that defense. I'm going with the Broncos. Colts versus Chargers. I'm going with the Colts in this one. The Chargers should have their pieces back. And by their pieces, I mean Joe Alt and Khalil Mack. Both of them should be playing in that game. But I'm still going with the Colts. I think the Colts have something to prove this year and trying to extend their lead over their division. I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. Washington versus Dallas. Dallas offense has been really good. Dak Prescott is a MVP candidate, but as impressive as that offense has been, and that offense is getting CeeDee Lamb back this week, as impressive as that offense has been, is how terrible that defense has been on the other side of the ball. This is a division rival. It's in Dallas. But I think JD has been playing well and getting back since he's been healthy. So I'm going with Washington in this one, y'all. I think Washington pulls that off on the road. Then you got Green Bay versus Arizona. Again, nothing needs to be said. Arizona started off 2-0 and has lost 4 straight. Green Bay started off hot and kind of cooled off, but I'm still going with Green Bay on this one. And then the Sunday night game. I'm guessing with all of these primetime games that the Falcons are having, people have seen what I saw in this team and how dynamic this offense could be. Because they've got a lot of primetime games for not, missing the playoffs the last few years. They've really had a lot of primetime games. But they play Sunday against San Francisco, and I'm going with Atlanta Falcons, man. That offense, Bijan Robinson is the best running back of football today. I'm going with the Falcons. It's just 49ers are hurt. Shout to Fred Warner. God bless. He broke his ankle. He's done for the year. So without Bosa and without Warner trying to stop Bijan, it's a tall task. I don't see them up for it. I'm going Falcons. And then again this week we got 2 Monday night football games. The first one is Tampa Bay versus Detroit. I'm going with Tampa Bay. And if the season were to end today and I had a MVP vote, Baker Mayfield would get that vote. And with Detroit Lions, Brian Branch missing this game. It's a game he can ill afford to miss because of his. I'm trying to be diplomatic, but I gotta say it. Because of his stupidity, he's going to miss this game. After the game against the Chiefs, where he won the war, I guess. He won the fight. You're either going to win the game or you're going to win the fight. He won the fight against Juju, but he kind of lost the war because now his team needs him going up against the leading MVP finalist and Baker Mayfield with his weapons. And I'm going with Tampa Bay on that one. And then the second Monday night game off of the bye, got Houston going all the way over to Seattle at 10 o'clock. So these games are one after the other. They're not on at the same time like it's been the last few weeks. But I'm going with Seattle in this one. I think Seattle is a good team. Sam Darnold kind of struggles in the bright lights of the game. But Houston's only looked good against Baltimore and another team. But Houston's only looked good against Baltimore when Baltimore's defense was hurt and couldn't, cover a twin size bed with a queen size blanket. So I'm not believing in Houston just yet to turn it around. So I'm going with Seattle and their defense and Mike Mack being able to put pressure on CJ Stroud with his offensive line issues and deficit. So I don't know what's one of these games I'm locking in. So definitely go to IG if you want to make some quick. I ain't gonna say it. But if you want to know which way I'm looking for my parlay, I'll post it up every Sunday morning of 3 games that I'm considering a lock, and that's pretty much my parlay, my 3-leg parlay of who I think going to win. If you straight bet the money line, and also I'll put an upset pick, which is another straight money line pick. Don't do points, none of that foolishness. But that's my show for this evening, y'all. Oh, no, it's not. The Baltimore Ravens. Listen, state of the Ravens is this. It's very simple. That's what I wanted to talk about. And the main reason I wanted to come back to the show and do this show this week. The Baltimore Ravens get healthy after the bye. You see this guy over my shoulder? Get him on the field. When he get to the field, protect him and keep him on the field. You guys were scoring 30 points a game when he was on the game. 30. Down to 6. Keep him on the field. The game, it is ridiculous how much that game can run through Lamar Jackson. Get that run game going. I don't know what we're trying to do with this finesse. We've tried it. All right, let's go ahead and get back to being dominant. Get back to being the bully team. How about this defense, man? Keep that defense off the field for as long as possible. Y'all run it up. Now, if y'all can score fast, please, by all means, just mix it in, mix up some tempo. Zay Flowers, for the most part, played decent all year, minus 1 game. So I ain't leaving out Zay being the impact player in this season. He still could be on pace and get up to 1,000 yards. I'm not counting him out. Bate, I need you to show up a little bit more. That's my guy. I love Bate. I'm calling him out of respect. That's my guy. Bate, need you to step up. Hop. Come on, y'all know what D-Hop is. Great. Mark Andrews, potential last year in Baltimore. Let's make it a great one. Front line. This front line has been, again, to be diplomatic, let's just say they struggle. We got to figure out what combination needs to work. What combination will work to make this, to open up this run game again. Now, Henry did have 100 yards last week, but to open up this run game again, to open up the passing game and keep 8 on the field like we need to do, this front line need to do it. Defensive line. Just like I said with the offense, get your defense off the field, man. Put some pressure on quarterbacks. Pressure make mistakes. Pressure bust pipes, as they say. So, get back in the backfield. Zach Orr called some crazy blitzes, some crazy blitz schemes. You should be working on that. You got 2 weeks. If they're not gonna get rid of you, and I don't think they are, cool. Now we gotta make it work with what we have. Linebackers, Rowe say he should be ready to go for this game coming up. However, we play against Chicago in 2 weeks, man. To go let me know how we're gonna do for the rest of this season. Pardon me, I'm stopped up right quick. So however we do from Rowe and Teddy, and I like moving Trenton Simpson outside. I don't know if you've been watching over the last few days last few games, instead of having Trenton Simpson next to Rowe, or next inside linebacker, they've actually moved him to the outside. I like him there. He's aggressive there. He kind of sets that edge over there that Ojabo and Mike Green should be setting. He's doing it. I like him there. That's a great move by Shaq. But Mike Green, Cal Van turn up the pressure, heat up these quarterbacks. Nate Wiggins has been playing lights out. He drew the assignment to cover Devontae Adams, and Devontae Adams was kind of shut down for what Devontae Adams can be shut down. He did that. Nate Wiggins stepped up and asked the coaches, could he follow? I like that play. I really did. Young boy got hot. Young boy got spunk. I like it. I love it, actually. And then safeties, Kyle, you know what you do. Start causing more havoc. Malachi, I know it's tough. You're learning on the fly. All in all, with Cincinnati getting this big win over Pittsburgh, everything that y'all wanted to do this season can happen after the bye. And I'm going to call it out of our next 11 games. Being a Ravens fan has its side effects, if you will. It's a hell of a drug. And the side effect is delusion. So I'm going to be a delusional fan. Out of these next 11 games, I really believe it's on the table that we can get 9 of them. I really do. Especially if, like I said, if we keep 8 upright, we can get 9 of these next 11. Finish the season with 10 wins. I think that's on the table. Call me crazy. Again, being a fan, which is short for fanatic. Side effect is delusion. But I think 9 wins is doable for this team. Or I'm sorry, 10 wins, 9 out of these next 11. But that's my show for this evening. Like y'all see, follow Al U Bugging on Instagram and YouTube at Al_U_Bugging. alubugging.substack.com. It's free. Just stop past, read some of the articles I've been putting in. I've been putting them up weekly. Getting back to more of that. But that's my show for this evening, y'all. Be blessed. Be productive. Be more. I love you. I'm out.